Emma here, and today we're going to take a look at some Sniper Elite 4 gameplay. If you've read my written preview on godisageek.com, you'll know that I got to spend a few hours with the game, and that I also really like what I've seen so far. This video is going to focus on the campaign, which can be played single player or co-op, and we're just going to jump straight in. So here you can see the difficulty modes, of which there are quite a few. I think we'll stick with normal for now. Here you can also customise your loadout. So as this is right at the beginning of the game, there isn't much to choose from right now, but we've got a few weapons and some medikits, which should keep us going. This screen gives you a good idea of the controls. So important things to remember are that you have binoculars, which will help you to tag enemies and get a feel for the threat level in the area that you're in. Also be aware that many of the buttons have multiple functions, so you'll definitely want to familiarise yourself with these before you start playing. There's quite a lot to soak up there. So this is the first mission of the campaign. You'll start off with some tutorial type stuff where you'll familiarise yourself with the controls, and then you're free to roam around. For a bit of background, the campaign starts off in San Celini Island, or more broadly, Italy, in 1943. The first mission is pretty simple. You have to take out all the high-ranking officers on the island, and then get the hell out of there. You also want to find out as much information as you can, see what the Nazis are up to while you're on the island, so you may want to spend some time exploring. I'll be honest, I didn't feel particularly rushed to complete that main mission. I spent a lot of time playing with traps, sniping, and just having fun. It's really cool when you can pick a spot on high ground, tag your enemies, and then pick them off one by one. But after a while, setting traps and then luring the enemies into them became my favourite thing to do. The maps are quite a bit larger than they were in the previous Sniper Elite game, so my strategy was to take out all the enemies in a smallish area, loot their bodies, comb for information, and then move on. Now I'm sure other players will have different strategies, like some people may want to assume the role of a silent but deadly ghost that kills the targets and then moves on, and that's a completely viable way to play this game. The game now has suppressed ammo for all sniper rifles and a few pistols. However, if you do want to sneak around and take out enemies silently, you'll have to use those resources sparingly. Overall, from what I've seen, I'd say that to some extent you can play the game however you want. It's still a sniper game, but if you're smart, you can run and gun, make considerable amount of noise, and set up some explosives. The guards are smart. They will track you down eventually, but you'll have plenty of answers to that. Here I just wanted to share some X-ray kills. Beautiful. Now I love these because they're so ridiculously dramatic and funny to watch, and when you're sniping these happen so often. I really can't wait for the community to start sharing their X-ray kills after the game releases, especially when traps are involved too. I found myself in some really funny situations where I'd just throw a sticky grenade into a group of guards and I'd see them panicking before it was kind of crazy. There's just so much room to experiment and to be creative with the traps. You could set up lengths of tripwires if you wanted to, and do some spectacular stuff if you're patient enough. Moving on, there are lots of tents, some barns and other buildings that you can search. And as I mentioned in my written preview, you may find information about the enemy soldiers after killing them and looting their bodies. If you find out enough about an individual soldier, you'll actually start to build a small profile on them, which shows up once they've been tagged. Now this is a really interesting addition that I definitely didn't expect to find in this game. You're sent in to take out those high-ranking officers, and some soldiers may get in your way and will need to be eliminated too. But then you find something that belonged to that soldier, and it makes you feel kind of bad for killing him. That's really deep. Some people may not care, but for a few seconds I was reminded that, yeah, in real wars, those soldiers were just real human beings, with lives and families, and that's sad. Anyway, I hope this video has given you a good idea of what Sniper Elite 4 is shaping up to be. It's a beautiful looking game that will be available on PS4, Xbox One and PC from February 14th. In addition to the campaign, it also has a multiplayer mode called Control. This supports 2 teams of 6 who compete to take control of a video box that drops around the map. I really enjoyed this mode because it was so fast and kind of chaotic. You can still snipe and set traps around the box, which I think will make things kind of interesting if you can coordinate with your team. But if not, melee kills are incredibly satisfying in this mode. Survival mode is also back, and will support 4 players. In that mode, you'll have to work together to cope with waves of enemies. You'll be stationed at a capture point where you'll be able to replenish your ammo after each wave, but if the enemies manage to capture your ammo reserves, you'll have to go a few rounds without restocking, making it super challenging. I'll be honest, this mode got pretty tough, but again, you have a lot of options when it comes to surviving the waves. You can heal each other if you're injured, and I've said this 1,000 times, but traps are really handy. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, then please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Have a great day and stay tuned to God is a Geek for more awesome gaming things.